Right, let's take it apart and have a look inside. There's been a bit of a delay. I've been on the phone to Vodafone, my mobile provider. I've been on the phone to them many times since I bought a new phone for my wife. They just cannot seem to get their billing system right. Makes me very angry. Been ongoing since last October and they still haven't sorted it out. Hopefully doing this will calm me down. Right, okay. Aerial wire, bring that out. Oh, I can see why the lights weren't working. I had them on a separate battery, looks like. Yeah. All looks a bit complicated in there. So it isn't really, it's just a flashing circuit to flash the indicators. So when it goes left, the left indicators flash, and when it goes right, the right indicators flash. Oh, reversing light there, and headlights at the front. Yeah. Okay, well, we won't worry about that for now. Oh, and the blue flashing lights, they're just typical strings of LEDs that have come from Poundland. Just drilled a row of holes, and then they are fed off the main battery pack, but because they only needed 3 volts, I think, then I got a supplementary feed off midway down the battery pack. And because those batteries have leaked, getting it on my fingers. Right, so we'll get rid of this receiver, which is probably directly soldered on the battery leads. I don't know. Maybe not. Plug ended. Right. Oh, I see. Haha, that's how I did it. So that was the feed that it would have fed up to there, off the existing battery supply. Right, to actually look at the motor, we'll have to unclip these bits that hold the gearbox together and undo the screws, I expect. And at the front end, to look at the steering. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll look at the steering first. I usually, when I'm doing a fairly long conversion like this, we have a look at the steering, we have a look at the gearbox, and, well, the receiver is easy because we just replace that with a hobby grade receiver. So that's the steering. Let's just look and see if there was a manufacturer's name on the receiver, but there isn't. That's the H bridge with a nice heat, whatever you call it. Let's get rid of the heat. The word escapes me at the moment. That's what happens when you get old. Right, we'll get in close so we can have a look at the steering. At least they're all the same size screws. Are we ready? Big reveal. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. Okay. So, simple enough there. Lift that off. Come on. So there's a slot in there, which that peg goes in. And what we've got there, I suppose you could call it a servo protector almost. It's a spring-loaded bit, so that when it goes over centre and the motor's still trying to drive it, it's got a bit of give in it. That's going to lift out nicely. Or is it? That's got one screw at the back. Well, so far it looks like we've got a fair bit of room to try and get a decent servo in there. Right, we'll have a look in that gearbox in a minute. So, actually got a metal gear on it, which is good. And then this bit at the bottom here is the centering mechanism, or the adjustment. Which, that bit just there would sit in there, so it gets pushed back to the middle by the spring. So that centres the steering. So we don't need that. I ought to have a little box to put the bits in, really. Is that going to pop out nicely, or is that going to be awkward? There we go. So we're not going to need that. And that's all come off for now. Right, I did say we'd have a little look in here so we can see how it works. It clips together. They usually break when you try and get them apart. Oh, only the one. That's odd. Oh, there's a screw there. That's why there was only one. Nice little selection of gears. So, motor fits through there, and that would drive that one will drive the next one, and the next one will drive the third one in there. gives us a few gears for the stock. Oh, that one's... And then we can just see this bit. Oh, we can if it focuses. There we are. So that's the bit that's got a bit of give in it. When you go too far on the steering. Because there's the vaguest possibility that you might be able to reuse that on the front of the servo when we want to use it. That doesn't want to come off. No, that doesn't want to come off. It's probably the springs holding it together. No. Ah, that's better. That's because the gear was turning behind. I've got my finger right now to stop it turning. So, looking at that, take that apart. Focus, there's a key on there, that little bit sticking out, which goes in between those two, which are spring loaded. So it just gives it that bit of flexibility, so it can go past the centre without stressing the motor too much. Or at least that's my explanation of how it works. I don't think we'd be able to use that on the front of the servo. Don't particularly want to anyway, but it's always a thought. I'll go and get a little box to put the bits in. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.